Alright, so this video is a review of how to work with fractions. And when I've been tutoring college students, a lot of times they are a student who has graduated high school 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and now they have returned to college, and they don't realize how much they've forgotten in those years. And so a lot of them struggle with fractions, adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. For whatever reason, people seem to remember that stuff, but people seem to forget how to work with fractions. So let's just do a quick review here on adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing fractions. So we're going to start with adding fractions first. Let's pick some fairly simple fractions to add. Alright, so when you add fractions, it's important for this number and this number to be the same, and we call that a common denominator. And we want that common denominator to be as small as possible, because that'll make the math the easiest. So we need to think of a number that 2 and 3 both go into evenly. Alright, so let's start with the larger of our two denominators. The larger one is 3. Will 2 go into 3 evenly? No, it won't. So the next number up that 3 will go into evenly is 6, right? So will 2 go into 6? Yes, it does. 2 goes into 6 evenly, 3 goes into 6 evenly. So let's multiply this number times a number that will make it be a 6. So what do I have to multiply times 3 to get a 6? Well, that's going to be a 2. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. Alright, and whatever I multiply on the bottom, I have to multiply on the top. So I did a 2 on the bottom, I'm going to do a 2 on the top. So 2 times 1 is 2. And 2 times 3 is 6. Alright, so this is this fraction converted to a different fraction so that we can have a common denominator. Alright, and we have to do the same thing with this fraction. So what number do I multiply times the 2 to get a 6? In other words, what is 6 divided by 2? It's 3. So 3 times 2 is 6. And whatever I do on the bottom, I have to do on the top. So 3 times 2 is 6. Now, as we said, our denominators are the same. That makes everybody happy, right? 3 times 1 is 3. Alright. Now we have our common denominator. In other words, they're the same number. So we're ready to add. So 3 plus 2 is 5. And then we just keep the 6. And that's how you add fractions. Now let's do subtract. We're going to run through subtraction quickly because it's the same as adding, except we're going to have a minus sign here. And what I mean by the same is we have to get a common denominator. So from doing the previous problem, we already know the common denominator is going to be 6, right? So same as this, we got to multiply the 3 times the 2 to get a 6, and whatever we do on the bottom, we have to do on the top. And then over here, this is going to be the same as up here. We got to multiply the 2 times the 3 to get a 6, and whatever we do on the bottom, we got to do on the top. Alright, so let's go through it. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. We have a minus sign here, so we're just going to write our minus sign. 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Alright, and now this is just a regular old everyday subtraction problem, right? 3 minus 2 is 1. And then just like up here, we just kept the 6. We have a 6, we're just going to keep the 6. So 1 over 6. So there's addition and subtraction. Let me go to a new page and we're going to do multiplication and division. So here's alright, and so that we can concentrate on how multiplication works, I'm just going to use the same fractions over again. I'm going to have 1/2 times 1/3. Alright, now, turns out that multiplication with fractions is easier than addition, and the reason it's easier, we just go straight across. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 3 is 6. And we're done. Alright, let's do division. So division has a little step involved. A little extra step compared to multiplication. And let's see how this works. So up here we had 1/2 times 1/3. Down here we have 1/2 divided by 1/3. So with division, let's remember something, a little method called I made a mistake, folks. Alright, so we want keep, and then I started to write change right there. That's the second word. And then the last word is flip. Alright, keep, change, flip. So what does that mean? Alright, we are going to keep the first fraction, 1/2, change, we're going to change the division sign to multiplication, and then flip. We're going to flip this, we're going to flip the 1/3 so it becomes 3 over 1. Alright, now what we've done is we converted our division problem into a multiplication problem. Well, from up here we already know how to multiply fractions, right? We just go 1 times 3 is 3, and 2 times 1 is 2. So the answer is 3 over 2. So that's it. That's a quick review of adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing fractions. I hope this helps. Thanks.